Previously on episode 1 of The Future Is Now. The Marist Men's Hockey Club has had their fair share of struggles this season when it comes to putting wins together. Goaltender Eric Sasimovich has finally gained a starting role after riding the bench for his first 2 seasons. And while Bryce Gomez and James Hickman have been sensational this season, it wasn't enough to get past Siena as they fell short 4-3 in overtime.
And when Bryce scored, I was jumping up and down on the bench. I mean, just with that rivalry and having it be him score the first goal, I mean, that's memorable to me. And I was that excited to where I was jumping on the bench.
Brady's one of those guys that definitely keeps it light in the locker room. He's a fun guy to be around, and he's just a guy you want to be around. So I'd say he's definitely one of those guys that a lot of the younger guys feel really comfortable with from the jump. And you know, I think he plays a very important role just in terms of introducing some of the younger guys to the team for sure.
Hey, make sure when we're breaking out our forechecking, make sure we're just using the board passes. Let's do the right things. Let's do the right things. No, I'm saying.
Brady, being a senior this year, and we only got 2 seniors, he brings a lot of maturity to that locker room. He brings a consistent mindset to that locker room, and I know specifically as he has been the mentor to one of my rookies this year, which is huge. He's mentoring a lot of these young players to be a college student, to be a college player, to understand the difficulties that it is at this level, and it's helped these young guys grow into better players and into better people.
I'd definitely say playing with Brady, I mean, we went from a class of about 6 or 7 guys down to the 2 of us senior year. So being able to almost be, I mean, there's that sense of like camaraderie and brotherhood, but literally it's just like your closest brother now, and there's one of them. It's kind of a special bond that you form, and as the group's gotten smaller and smaller, you get like closer and closer. And so being able to share like the last season with him, just me and him, it's pretty cool.
I'd say like one of the big things I've learned from him is just to kind of keep it light. You know, obviously, you know, when it comes game time, you gotta be serious, but you know, not to put too much pressure on yourself and just to make sure you're having fun. I think that's one of the big takeaways I've taken from him.
I like mimic Carl from Jimmy Neutron. It's always like, Jimmy's man, are you gonna finish all those questions?
I have this one song stuck in my head.
I have one stuck in my head too.
Let's hear it.
You turn me on like a light switch when you're moving your body around and around.
What is that?
Charlie Puth.
I love letting guys know like they did a good thing, because like, you know, if they come back to the bench and like say like they're pissed off or like they're really too high, like, you know, like kind of zeroing them out and like, you know, making sure like, you know, the game is the focus, like just keep grinding, like it'll be fine. So I'd say like being vocal and having a good overall presence in the locker room is needed. Like you need like good leadership, and I think Bryce and I, and especially Nick and Tucker, have done such a good job of like being alternate captains this year. We all do a good job of like trying to navigate the season the best we can. I think that's like, if you're versatile, when you have a season like we're having, like being a good leader, it'll show.
Bryce was probably one of the first people I met when I came to Marist. Actually, I met him, I think, probably the first time I met the team. But I knew that he was going to be like the guy to go to. He was going to be the captain. He's probably been one of the best captains I've ever had coming in as an underclassman. Right now, he's vocal with the team. Off ice, he's like your best friend. Like he'll talk to anybody. He'll make you feel like you're the most important person in the world when he's talking to you. He's been here a long time. You know, he expects to win. He's been a part of a lot of winning teams for Marist, and he deserves that. You know, he works really hard for this team.
The biggest thing I've learned from Bryce is really just having confidence in your capabilities and just going out every night with that kind of confidence, and you know, things will definitely fall in your favor if you kind of play with that kind of swagger.
Considering we got 14 rookies on the team, it's difficult for any captain to step into that shoes and try and control or mold the youth of the team into being a collegiate level hockey player. Bryce has not let me down all year. He's been very steady. I told him in the beginning we're pretty much co-coaches going into this. It's his senior year. I want it to be the best for him, so decisions are going to be made kind of in a group effort. And he's always maintained. He has a consistent presence off the ice as much as he does on the ice. You know what you're getting at him, and it's all positive.
He's my best friend. When I came to college, and he came to college, like, we only had the aspiration of playing for Marist hockey. Like, we came to play hockey here. And realizing that it's just him and I since about sophomore year, it's kind of weird because it's just like, oh, it's not the senior class, or oh, it's not the junior class, it's just Brady and Bryce. It's Bryce and Brady. Having 1 to 2 seniors is a blessing, because not because it's like it's cool to say like, oh, it's just Bryce and I. Like, it's nice to like see, just from him and I's perspective, like watch a team grow. We have so much more to prove, and there's so much left to tell. It's been a wild 4 years with him. It's sad that it's coming to an end for sure, but it's been so many innumerable good experiences with him, and he'd say the same. So
the first game of the year, I talked about this being a war. Our last regular season game. The last battle of this war. Don't let those previous battles that didn't go our way define who you are. Be excited to play. Be excited to have this opportunity to go play for these two. All right? But get your emotions in check so you can receive a pass, so you can give a pass, so you can shoot the puck. It's going to take every single effort that you have in you tonight to succeed and win as a team. Redemption tonight. That's going back to the hockey house. Yeah! I should be ready in a few, boys. Let's go.
Let's go, boys! We say it, right?
Bryce Gomez, Brady Donnelly, 2 seniors who have poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this program. Tonight's matchup is for the '87 Cup. The Red Foxes open up the scoring with a pair of beautiful goals by Bryce Gomez and Andrew Ullman. As the game goes on, Siena claws their way back with a pair of their own and ties it up with just a few seconds remaining in regulation. Siena's game-winning goal gets called off. The Red Foxes have some hope, but only for a few minutes. Defenseman Brett Schofield puts Marist away, scoring a goal with less than a second on the clock, securing the '87 Cup title for Siena.